Why as women are we so unwilling to compromise? Whereas good men like compromise because it's part of problem solving and getting to a solution. And a good man doesn't want his way in the marriage. A good man says, hey, okay, well, I can understand you're feeling this way. This is how I feel. Let's work together and find a compromise. And that's a good man's nature. And he's very, very open to that. So why are we so unwilling to compromise as women? And it really comes down to our selfishness as women and only thinking of ourselves and what's important to us or what's off the table and what's off limits because of what's going on for us or what we are feeling. It's really our selfishness that we're so unwilling to compromise. And another angle in this is, and where our selfishness comes in the bedroom and with sex is really the different wiring between us as women and good men. That as women, our wiring and thinking around sex is that sex is supposed to make us feel loved. Women believe and live in a framework that sex is supposed to make us feel loved. The problem with that and our thinking as women is we don't love ourselves. We don't love ourselves. And that's very clear in how we feel about ourselves internally, how critical we are of ourselves, how easily we burn ourselves out and put ourselves at the bottom of the list and get so busy in our lives and so overcommitted that there's no room for us. There's no room for our husbands. And those are all windows into really how as women we don't love ourselves and don't really even know what that means. I have a video. I did a clip that I took from an old live recently. I think we titled it, "Is Your Wife Withholding Sex?" Have her watch this, where I talk about sex and self-love with women. But the problem is, as women, we really, truly don't love ourselves. So nothing can make us feel loved. It really is true. The old saying, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. Well, it also means if I don't love myself, I can't feel loved by another, even if they do love me. We don't feel it because we don't have that within ourselves. So of course, then sex doesn't make us feel loved. And living in Camp Victim as women, we blame our husbands for not making us feel loved and cared for in sex. So why would we want to have it? And why would we, if we don't feel loved within sex, why would we compromise with sex in the bedroom? You don't make me feel loved in that. I don't want it. Why would I give it to you if it's important to you? Well, you don't make me feel loved in it. Whereas men see sex as an expression of love in a marriage, a relationship. Good men see sex as an expression of love in a relationship. A good man thinks, why wouldn't the woman I love want to make love with me and share that together and have sex and express our love? And that in all that time in dating and before getting married, we had sex and maybe a lot of it. And a good man thinks she loves me. We're having sex and a lot of sex. She loves me. But as I talk about, it was a tool to get the man in the relationship. So then we stop having it. One, because we got the relationship, but also we don't feel loved. And we live in Camp Victim and think our husbands is the reason that we don't feel loved. So why would we have sex? And it's another way we miss each other and think so differently as women and men about sex and love. So we don't compromise. So to the women, if you realize you're withholding sex, again, and it's not who you want to be, learn to compromise. It's understandable. And for some men I've seen through the comments really struggle to accept this, but it is just totally true that we are wired very, very differently as women and men. We think differently. We think about sex differently. Different things are important to us. That's why I try to share with men, your wife's never going to think and operate and relate to sex like you as a man. It's okay. But that's why we want to come together. And that's where the dance comes in. Come together to meet each other in our differences and work through them and find what we would hope we could find in a marriage is compromise. Finding compromise. So ladies, it's understandable. You might not be in the mood all the time. Like your husband. That's okay. We're not wired that way. We're not. Say that you're fine with once a month. Having sex once a month would work for me. And your husband would like it once a week. A compromise might be having sex once a month and saying to your husband in a genuine way and saying, I understand this is important to you. It's not as important to me, but I could have sex once a month. Could we compromise and come together in that agreement? And then maybe the other weeks, can I give you a BJ or a hand job? That would be a good compromise. Of course, a good man's going to prefer intercourse, but a good man is open to compromise. And if presented fairly and genuinely, he will consider that. So again, I think it's also fair to find a compromise in the bedroom of what works for both of you. And as a woman, genuinely offering that a compromise that you can commit to and follow through with. And a good man will be there and say, okay, yeah, how do we make this work? That's when I talk with good men who are suffering in the bedroom and their wives are withholding sex. They're not being unreasonable in what they expect. A lot of good men will say, gosh, I would love it once a week or maybe even twice a week. But gosh, even if she had it once a month with me, that would be a game changer. So they're very fair, overly fair, and willing to compromise. And if you are a man who has a wife that's willing to compromise and in the bedroom or other areas of the marriage, you are very, very fortunate, because most women won't, because we are so selfish. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the Happiness Program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.